Here we are filming in the middle of the night again.
Vicky's just a slave driver.
I am.
But I do whatever she says. So we are going to be making a spinach quiche casserole. So we're going to be doing the prep work first. One of the ingredients is grated Swiss cheese, and we weren't able to find any shredded or grated Swiss, so we bought a block and we're just going to shred it ourselves. So the next step of prep is to dice up the mushrooms. Okay, the next step of prep is to fully drain and dry the spinach that we're going to be using. So we took frozen spinach and thawed it out, and now we're just straining as much of the liquid as we can. And there's a lot of liquid in here. And then we want to get as much of it out of there as we can, because we don't want the quiche to come out watery.
And then we have to saute it to get even more water. Yes, that's what the pan's there for, is to saute it, to just get rid of any last remaining liquid. We kind of do this over a low to medium heat. We don't want it too high because we're not trying to cook the spinach. We're just trying to dry it out. How's the spinach coming?
Well, I think it looks pretty good. I don't see any signs of any moisture on the bottom of the pan. Looks like a little steam still coming off, but it looks pretty good. Visible signs of moisture. So we're going to go ahead and call it good. We're just going to go ahead and set this off hot burn over here and let it sit there and cool for a little while we finish mixing together the eggs and milk and cheese. Okay, while the spinach is sauteing to dry out, we're going to go ahead and crack the eggs. And I always like to do them into another bowl, one at a time. Okay, time to mix together the eggs, the milk, and the cheese. Okay, next thing we're going to do is to add, for the double recipe, we're going to do 2 cups of milk. Okay, so the next thing to do is to add all of our cheese. This recipe is actually calling for a mixture of cheddar and Swiss. But if there's other flavors of cheeses that you like, you could obviously mix them in, use whatever flavors of cheese you want.
So that's the Swiss you grated earlier.
This is the Swiss I grated earlier.
This serves a lot of people.
Yeah, this is going to serve about 15 people. So just
with really good sized servings.
Then we're going to add in a little bit of seasonings. Add in about maybe half a teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder. Grate in a little bit of pepper. And this is something you just kind of do to taste. So now we'll just use a spatula and mix it all together. Okay, now we're going to get ready to
start with, we're going to layer some spinach on the bottom of each of the pans, and I just put a little bit of cooking spray in there just so that it doesn't stick. The next step is to put mushrooms into the bottom of 2 of the pans, because again we're going to make one quiche that's fungus free.
And a lot of times I'll do this with broccoli. We just don't happen to have any broccoli today, so it can be broccoli and mushrooms, just broccoli, just mushrooms, or neither, like we're doing in the left pan. The left pan will have just the spinach in the bottom.
Now we're going to go ahead and pour the egg, milk, and cheese mixture over the top, and so that I make sure that I get an equal amount, I'm going to pour it over like this.
Trying to make sure you grab about the same amount of cheese in each one. Again, if you were just making one batch, you'd just dump it all in there and wouldn't have to worry about this.
Right.
Okay, so now we have to take the raw sausage meat and put it in. Okay, so the meat, or sort of meat, has been poked down into the egg. If you're using the Gimme Lean, the soy artificial sausage, which is actually my favorite way to have this, it really tastes delicious, then you're going to put it in raw or uncooked. If you're using actual sausage, you do have to saute it and put it in cooked first. How long are we cooking, Bob?
35 minutes.
At?
375.
All right. We'll catch you on the outside. So we finished all our recipes last night. It's the next morning. We're on the back porch. Bob's sampling his casserole.
Delicious. I added a few green chilies on top just for a little extra spiciness, a little extra flavor. Certainly don't need to do it, but it's something I put green chilies on a lot of things, so it's delicious.
Good stuff. Easy to make. Give it a try and let us know what your opinion is.